Before he left Mexico, he got a COVID test, and then he got another one in Fargo, North Dakota. And yet, when he tried crossing into Manitoba, the authorities there said his COVID test wasn't valid. So they fined him and his wife both $5,150.
It was all accepted at the end of the day by the Crown that his efforts were enough to get the ticket stayed. So we're all very happy for Mr. Sawatskys.
We really was struggling about money, and that you help us, you know what, we'll say thank you so much for doing that, and we really appreciate that.
Today you're going to meet another Fight the Fine success story. This is a couple that I'm really happy that we could help. Now, for those of you who don't know or are unaware or have forgotten, Fight the Fines is a civil liberties project where, in partnership with the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund, and through your crowdfunding donations, we put people who have received lockdown tickets or quarantine tickets or summonses or fines in touch with top criminal and civil litigators at absolutely no cost to them to fight their tickets in court. This work is only possible because of you at home. So today, first, you're going to meet Abram Sawatskys and his wife. Abram went to Mexico to attend rehab for his addictions problems. He went to get his life right. And on his way back to Canada, he tried to do everything right. Before he left Mexico, he got a COVID test, and then he got another one in Fargo, North Dakota. And yet, when he tried crossing into Manitoba, the authorities there said his COVID test wasn't valid. So they fined him and his wife both $5,150. So over $10,000 for just trying to come home after receiving a life-saving treatment in Mexico. And he tried to do everything right. But we've got good news. Abram and his wife, their tickets were thrown out. So first, we're going to meet Abram and his wife, Maria. And then we're going to meet their Fight the Fines lawyer. And then I'm going to ask you to keep the wins rolling in for other families like the Sawatskys. Okay, let's meet the Sawatskys.
Came from Mexico to Canada, and there we got the tickets because of the COVID test. They say that was not correct, and we did the COVID test at Mexico. We did have the test with us from Mexico, and we did have the test from Fargo, and they say the test from Mexico, they do not even want to see that because they do that beside the road. That's what they say. And so then I showed the email from the task from Fargo, and they say they are not good because the name is not completely on it. So there was just the initials. And then they say you have two choices. You go back to United States to get another test, or they will give us a ticket. So that's what they told us. And then I told there is no way we cannot go back because the taxi is gone already. So we have to just give us a ticket because there is no way we can go back. And another thing was we did not have a lot of money.
And so you both got, it looks like you both got tickets over $5,000. And you had to take a taxi to the border because you couldn't get a flight home. Is that true?
Yeah, we got the tickets before we got home. Yeah, they gave us the tickets at the border right there. $5,150 each.
And you couldn't get a flight home from Mexico direct. You had to get to Fargo and then drive across. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And you weren't in Mexico on a holiday. You were there for other reasons, personal medical reasons. It wasn't like this was a leisure trip for the two of you.
Yeah, that's right. I did go to a treatment center there.
So you went to a treatment center to save your life, I suppose, and to give yourself a better future. Then you're stranded outside of the country because of your own government. And when you try to get home, the two of you get fines totaling over $10,000.
That's correct.
That's outrageous. Now, you sent your tickets to us at fightthefines.com, and our lawyers worked very hard to help you. And it sounds like you had a little bit of a victory, didn't you?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I will say thank you so much for doing that. That's so helpful.
Well, I'm very glad. I wish you the best in your recovery, and I'm so happy that we were able to help you.
Oh, you know what? I really appreciate that. That's so nice to have people who don't want to help other people, like they have no money, like we did. We really was struggling about money, and that you help us. You know what? We'll say thank you so much for doing that, and we really appreciate that.
Now, here's Abram's lawyer, Stephen Whitehead. He's from Gray, Wauk, Spencer, LLP, and he worked so hard on this file at no cost to the Sawatskys family. Take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, we have some good news here. Mr. Sawatskys' ticket was withdrawn. Mr. Sawatsky was very, very helpful in his own case, did a lot of great work to help us communicate with the Crown and get this matter resolved. Effectively, Mr. Sawatsky provided evidence that he did his best to comply. He was seeking treatment in another country, and it was all accepted at the end of the day by the Crown that his efforts were enough to get the ticket stayed. So we're all very happy for Mr. Sawatsky.
This poor family tried to do everything right, including fighting an addiction problem that we know is far more lethal than COVID. And yet they were punished for it. I'm so glad we were able to help this family because, boy, did they ever need it. But unfortunately, we still have 2,200 other people in the Fight the Fine system fighting these oppressive lockdown tickets, and they need our help. If you're able to donate, please visit fightthefines.com, where your donation to the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund, will help families just like the Sawatskys, and your donation will qualify for a charitable tax receipt. Thank you so much for making this possible. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Through your generous donations to fightthefines.com, we were able to get the Sawatskys lockdown quarantine tickets tossed out. We saved this family from over $10,000 in fines, but there are 2,200 other families still in the Fight the Fine system to help. If you'd like to keep the wins rolling in, consider donating to fightthefines.com, where your donations qualify for a charitable tax receipt through the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund.